this tiny little studio on this tiny little Greek island. And today, wow, lots of thoughts happening. First of all, I wanted to answer a question from Kelly. Hello, Kelly. About Notan. She was asking, what exactly is a Notan and, why use them? What's the point? And she didn't actually say why use them, what's the point? That's what I'm saying, because when I first started diving into this creative realm on a much deeper level, when I was first introduced to the Notan, I was like, what the heck is a Notan and why bother? So Kelly, this is for you. The Notan very, very abstractly, okay, and very minimally is the abstract design behind your painting. So when you first get an idea, like, oh, I want to paint that, and you start to imagine, visualize the possible painting that you might create, that's still up here in this area, it's the first real limitation that you're putting on this idea. As we know, ideas are infinite. Ideas can be very, very abstract. They can be too big for us to actually grab onto and work with in our human ability and our mental abilities to work with an idea. So this is the Notan. It is the abstract black and white of your painting. It doesn't have to be black, right? It can be pencil. Here's an example, right? Pencil. Little tiny thumbnail sketches of the painting that you're thinking of doing. And here, like I did these four of, you don't really know what it is. You can't tell. And it's not important to know what it is. What's important is to see which design, which black and white or pencil and creamy colored paper, which design is the one that speaks to you in the best way. And that is how you will design your painting. So I was choosing between this one and this one. Those were my two favorite, and I went with this one for my seascape. So yeah, now that I said seascape, you can kind of see the possible little capsizing wave, and how that all plays out on the canvas. So that's one idea. You begin with that abstract light and dark. You don't have any other values. When you add the third value, then you begin to create form. So this is your painting before you have any kind of form. And there's something about latching on to the Notan. There's something about it that pulls through your painting. If you're painting through and you're sticking to, you have established that Notan on your canvas. It somehow comes through with and creating another different kind of level of energy to it, of excitement to it, something that pulls you to the painting. Whether or not you paint the seascape in a great way, whether or not you paint your lemon or your apple or your dog or whatever it is, if that Notan is coming through to the end, there's just there's more depth to your creation. And if it's not specifically a depth that's on your canvas, let's say you paint it and it's a bad painting and it doesn't come through and you toss it, there is still a deepening of your ability to create something more effectively. When you begin with that abstract light and dark. So maybe think of it as not the blue. I wanted to explain, there is a video, I will put a card, well, here or there, pointing to the video that I did as an example of doing a Notan and a quick sketch painting based on that Notan. I'll put that up for you, Kelly. Thank you so much for your questions. It's great to meet you. The other thing that I wanted to talk about was the 5% better. So sometimes we get lost in feeling like we're not progressing, we're not really getting any better. It's kind of a lull stage of your development as an artist, as whatever. This doesn't apply just to art. And I've been thinking about that because I have a very, very, very dear friend who is, I've talked about this before, she is going through COVID, a long COVID thing, and has chronic fatigue syndrome, which, I mean, it's insane from one day being an extremely active person to not being able to do anything. And she's been in this place for a long time, and it's humbling because when I get angry or frustrated at myself for not progressing the way I want to, and then I stop and think, okay, every time I come in here and work on a painting, every time I have a new idea and it's marinating in my mind, I am, in fact, getting at least 5% better. Even if it's not showing, even if time passes and nobody really sees any real difference, I don't even see any real difference in my artwork, I'm still getting 5% better. And the example came from, she was saying that she's having this very minimal getting better, at least temporarily, at least for now. So, she had the desire to wash some dishes, right? And a very minimal thing, something that we don't think about at all. But for her, it was huge. So it's a matter of altering your perception of what it means to get better. Will she get back to the way she was before this happened to her? Who knows? But the point is getting to altering your definition of what is progress and what isn't. So I think about that, and I'm in contact with my friend constantly, and we're having a great time, right? Even through this very difficult part of her life. And nobody knows what the outcome is going to be. And that's not the point of this discussion. Is the gratitude that we can have for our 5% better. And even though nothing's showing up on my canvas that I'm getting better at all, I do know that it is a 5% that I'm growing, the glass half full, that it may be a drop here and there that's filling up the glass half full, but it's happening. And I think about washing the dishes and what an accomplishment that must have been for my dear friend, because in fact it truly is. And when we can sit back and look at our tiny moves forward that don't seem to be anything real big, they actually really are. So it's just a matter of acknowledging the drop that has come into our glass and filling it half full and moving upwards. So hopefully for all of you suffering out there with many various different things, right? Hopefully you're able to alter your perception to where you are right now in this moment and be grateful for those tiny little steps forward. They may feel tiny to the person you were before this happened to you, but from where you are in this moment moving forwards, they're huge and wonderful, and latch onto that and enjoy it as best we can. So when I get frustrated with my paintings not moving forward, I think I am going to remind myself of the different perceptions, the 5% better, maybe the 2% better, doesn't matter, as long as I'm keeping myself on the glass half full and at least looking upwards. So I wanted to acknowledge my friend and everyone else out there who may be suffering through various difficult things that, we here in the studio that can move around and have a full freedom of our abilities, of our physical abilities, we often take for granted. So just a lesson for me. So that is all I'm going to talk about today. I am working on the pet portrait, obviously. Thank you so much, Corby. Good morning. So nice to see you. Nice to see you. And, clarifying that when you're in a healthy physical, mental state, we take many, many, many things for granted. And I am the first one to do that, catch myself complaining about things that really don't matter at all. And so connecting with this beautiful soul that I'm connected with is daily lessons for me, daily lessons in gratitude and appreciation. And I'm very, very, very thankful to have her in my life. And she's teaching me so many things. So, whatever, that's all I can say. I am going to be on my computer most of the day today because yesterday, even though I said I was going to, to be productive there, I ended up not being productive at all. I did a few things. I really did. I did a few things, but not as much as I wanted to. So today I'm going to hopefully get that done. I will be moving out of the studio and into the kitchen and just to change the scenery a little bit, get different lighting, and hopefully be very, very productive. So wish me luck, and I will see you all here again tomorrow. Be inspired. Be creative and be you. Have a beautiful day, everyone. Love to you all. Ciao.